You don't need me to tell you that Heracross is a great encounter on average. It has a great offensive typing with some defensive merit, its move pool, while meager at first in Gen 2, gets better every generation, it destroys many difficult battles, and has some crazy abilities to take advantage of. In my humble opinion, this is one of the better encounters in a vacuum and should be looked for most of the time, and I will tell you why. But first, please leave a like and comment. I've been transitioning this series from a short series into a long-form video series, so your support lets me know you want to see more Hardcore Nuzlocke content. Heracross is often really difficult to find due to its more advanced encounter methods, but getting it is very rewarding, as it is hilariously strong compared to everything else in the early game. Arguably its worst in Gen 2, it doesn't get a fighting type move until after beating Whitney, that being the Rock Smash TM, and it has to wait until level 44 to get Reversal. It doesn't even get a single bug type move until level 54 in Mega Horn, unless you want to go with the inferior Fury Cutter. As such, it has to rely on normal type moves like Horn Attack and Headbutt before Whitney. After that though, it has good matchups into Price and Jasmine, and the occasional Silver rival fight. We'll get to Hoenn in a moment, but Heart Gold Soul Silver amends Heracross' move pool issues, gifting it Aerial Ace for Chuck, and more crucially, Brick Break, an actual fighting type move for Whitney, while also improving the matchup against the previously mentioned Jasmine and Price, as well as adding Brock to its hit list. Heracross also received great abilities in Swarm and Guts. While Swarm boosts the damage output of Heracross' Mega Horn, Guts is one of the single craziest abilities ever. Finally, the player's mother can occasionally buy a Choice Scarf, which patches up Heracross' slightly awkward speed tier and beats faster Pokemon in a pinch, such as those from Lieutenant Surge and Sabrina. All of these culminate into some Nuzlockers thinking that Heart Gold Soul Silver Heracross might even be the single best Heart Gold Soul Silver Nuzlocke Pokemon, even towering itself above certain legends like Raikou. One thing both iterations of Heracross so far have in common is that they both struggle against the Johto Elite Four, so I personally wouldn't recommend bringing it, but it's also far from the worst choice. Overall, Johto Heracross is a fantastic Pokemon to look for in your Hardcore Nuzlocke runs, with its Heart Gold Soul Silver iteration in particular being argued to be one of the best, if not the single best Pokemon to get. Moving on to Hoenn, Heracross is only found in Area 4 of the Safari Zone, which requires the Acrobike. In order to optimize encountering Heracross here, you first need to get Oddish, which is available in other routes in Hoenn. Otherwise, that's it. There's no repel manipulation whatsoever. However, if you do get it, with its Guts ability, its matchups are really good, beating all of Archiebar Crobat, Gym Leader Wallace, and Elite Four members Sydney and Glacia. Even Phoebe is somewhat manageable since Heracross would theoretically absorb the status from her ghost types. I argue that Tate and Liza and Elite Four member Drake are its only problematic matchups until the champion. Heracross is able to bowl over half of Steven's team, with the other half being hit really hard by coverage options. It does even better against Wallace, with Gyarados being its only check with Intimidate. However, using the Rock Tomb TM on Heracross is a perfectly valid choice to neuter Gyarados' speed boost from Dragon Dancing. In ORAS, Heracross gets Mega Horn far earlier, making it valid to use against even Tate and Liza. Access to TM75 Swords Dance and the Black Belt by thieving Wild Makuhita is also notable, as this makes Heracross hit even harder. But it's also really hard to set up, assuming you are already inflicted with status to receive the Guts boost. One huge matchup to take note of is against ORAS Steven. If you get Steven's Skarmory out of the way, Heracross is actually set to sweep Steven's entire team with a Swords Dance boost and Guts. Yes, even Mega Metagross. Remember that Gen 6 Mega Evolution mechanics means that Metagross retains its mediocre 70 speed stat on the turn it Mega Evolves. With all this in mind, you might wonder, would Mega Heracross be better? To answer, I'd say, it depends. Mega Heracross brandishes a 185 attack stat while still being fast enough to outspeed Steven's Metagross before Mega Evolving. It requires changing its moveset completely to benefit from its skill link ability, notably Pin Missile, which becomes stronger than Mega Horn. However, I think Mega Heracross faces competition from other better Mega evolutions, such as the Lottie twins, Mega Manectric, and Mega Gyarados, as they handle some of Mega Heracross's checks better. It's not bad, but it's not the best choice either. Heracross is one of, if not the rarest of encounters in Sinnoh, as you need to use RNG manipulation tools to determine which honey tree group contains Heracross, and even after that, you only have a 5% chance of getting one. If you get unlucky trying to get it from honey trees, it's typically not worth trying to get it, as your duplicate options that aren't Aipom and Munchlax are really bad. But assuming you get it at the earliest opportunity with Guts in Diamond Pearl Platinum, which is before Gardenia, it beats almost every gym in the game, and almost all of the Elite Four. Only Wake and Fantina can check Heracross reliably. When it comes to the Pokemon League, it needs to be wary of those that can tank a hit, those who outspeed and kill it, or those that do both. The only trainer who beats Hera completely is Cyrus, specifically the final fight of either generation. Heracross in Y is a tough decision to make, as it means you are not only missing out on the free Lapras gift encounter, you are also chancing yet another 5% encounter with bad dupes. And it also struggles with a lot of the Kalos gyms, and some of those that it can beat often lead with a Pokemon that could beat it first. Even Lysander can cause Hera some trouble. Arguably, Hera's biggest struggle is against the Elite Four. Hera can reliably beat Wickstrom with the Earthquake TM, as well as Diantha if you can bait Tyrantrum to come in with its own Earthquake. However, it must take the soonest opportunity against Mega Gardevoir to net a KO, as the previously mentioned Mega Evolution mechanics make Gardevoir slower than any Heracross with 131 speed or higher until after the turn it Mega evolves. This is a surprisingly weaker generation for Heracross, but it still is a generally good Pokemon. Finally, Scarlet and Violet allows for Heracross to be found in either North Province Area 2 and Sakurat Trail. While Area 2 features a fixed encounter of Hera at level 55, with others available at level 49 to 52, there are several other high-quality encounters in this area, including, but not limited to, these Pokemon on screen right here. Meanwhile, Hera is arguably the only high-quality encounter in Sakurat Trail, but is also found at a high level at level 53 minimum and cannot be used in as many fights. Even so though, Hera is still really useful to have and is most useful for Team Star member Aerie, as one can kill Toxicroak with a Psychic type, bait in Lucario with Dark Pulse, and swap into Hera. This can be helped further from the myriad of items that you can buy or find around the map, such as leftovers and choice scarves from Delibird Presents, or in my case, the Assault Vest found in Porto Marinata. All this, and you still have the benefits from Hera's Guts ability. Outside of this case, Hera is also able to match up decently against Final Nemona and some Mons against the AI Professor, albeit less so against Turo. Altogether, Heracross is typically amazing for your runs. It is one of the rarer encounters to find in the games, but players will typically be hella rewarded for finding it at all. So for that, I rate Heracross to be great. Let me know which Pokemon you'd like to see evaluated for Nuzlocke viability. Hi, so if you haven't noticed, it's been a while since I've posted a video of Nuzlocke viability, and I wanted to talk about some changes that I'm going to be making to it. But for starters, I don't feel like this long form video style is working for it. I think this is a series more suited for shorts, and this actually helps me a lot as well because this makes the editing workload far less for me. And also, just editing this Heracross video in particular was a drag for me personally. It completely burned me out. You can tell by my editing in this video, I just wasn't feeling it. So I think we're going to be moving this series back into being a shorts series. So for those who enjoyed the long form series for as long as it was around, I appreciate it. But we're going to be going back to shorts. So for those who stuck around, I appreciate you, and thank you all for watching.